Hello everyone. It's been a little while since my last video, but I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you all of the Blade Show Atlanta 2024 acquisitions that I was able to acquire. It was a great show as always. If you haven't been, highly recommend it. And you definitely get to meet some great people. There are certainly some oddballs. There's certainly some strange ones, but overall, people there are wonderful. You make a lot of great friends. At least I have. And thank God for it. I really am thankful to Him for it. So, just wanted to share something that a lot of people do say, and I want to keep it going. You go for the knives, but you stay for the people. Honestly, I could go to Blade Show without buying a knife and just hang out with my friends and just talk knives, go out to get a bite to eat, catch up. It's a lot of fun, and it's just one of those things I really look forward to every year. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first knife I purchased was actually not my first table that I went to. The first table that I wanted to purchase a knife from unfortunately sold out of what I had immediately, and I was not that far back in line. But they only bought a few of the blades to the show, and I just missed it by seconds, guys, let me tell you. So, sometimes that happens. It's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I'm not going to kick and scream, and, I'm not a child. I am an adult. Not a big deal. I spoke to the maker. They will be making more in the future, so I'll definitely take advantage of that at that time. So the first purchase, the second table I went to, was came in this pouch. And this is, you've probably already seen it, Nick Shabazz and many others, a Serge Rook. Now, if you haven't met Serge Panchenko, I recommend speaking to him. He's actually a really tall guy. I think he's taller than me. He's got to be like 6'4". Yeah, he's a pretty big guy, but very kind, very humble, nice man. Excellent work on his products. He does use the Grattan Gavin Hawk machine pocket clip, similar to the Shortcut model that they put it on. But I mean, this is like a beautiful, almost like a dark washed titanium. And tell you, fidget factor, guys, phenomenal. He is using CPM 20CV on these blades. I mean, everything about this knife is really exquisite. It's a little different looking, for sure. But I gotta say, there's this maker's mark. Very neat. I gotta say, guys, this was surprisingly ergonomic. Like, I put this in my hand and I'm like, ooh, that's good. And then I put my thumb right here, and it really just acts like a little notch. Very nice. Similar to like the little, if you want to call it a little divot that the GTK or the Grind Tactical Knives Spear Tack has. Very similar. Very nice. If you haven't got one of these, highly recommended. He is going to be making more of them. I did see notification on his Instagram. I gotta say too, guys, the pocket clip, I can bear down on this and it does not hurt. Like, there's no hot spots. Maybe like you feel a skosh back here, but not really. I mean, if you really had to bear down on this knife, which, let's face it, most of you guys don't. Most of any of us don't, because we don't want to thrash on them, and I get it. But if you had to, it would not be uncomfortable. So that was my first purchase. Very happy I went there. They had a lot of different varieties. They had aluminum handle scales. They had, let's see, micarta, Ultem. I didn't get there in time for the Ultem, but that's okay. This titanium is really excellent. So the second purchase is from a maker, or a joint group of makers that I really like. You've heard of them. It's called the Demko brothers, or Andrew and John Demko. Now, Andrew and John are really amazing people as well. I mean, they're kind, they're helpful, they are genuine, which is not everybody in the show, but those guys are certainly one of a kind. Their products are outstanding. They really need no introduction, to be honest with you, but I just wanted to share anyway. Now, here is my purchase as the 80/20. Sorry, there's a little oil there. It came on the package inside the bubble wrap. It's 80/20 compact and like this almost rough washed finish on the titanium. Perfectly centered. And this is sporting a beautiful stonewash blade in CPM MagnaCut. Now this run, they did about 50 of them. And if you were not aware, because I do have them, I have seen others as well, the customs as well. The compact, this is a slightly different handle shape. So this is the new handle shape that they're going with the compacts going forward, to my knowledge. It's really outstanding. I mean, the ergonomics are, superb as well. You can really also grip this very well. Excuse me. You can grip it very hard, and it's not going to bother you. Plenty thick enough for doing a little more hard use if you needed it, but also very nice edge. Now, another reason I was very happy for this purchase was because of the fact that, speaking of one of their workers, one of their employees, excuse me, and also I verified this with John, that the shark lock mechanism on these 80/20 compacts was American made, or excuse me, is American made, which I was very thrilled about. Now, I don't have Discord, social media, or anything like that. However, I have spoken to Andrew several times about that, and he's mentioned, that everything on these American-made 80/20s has been made in America, except for the lock. The lock was made in Taiwan, which is perfectly fine. Happy to support Taiwan. However, I always found it, I don't want to say surprising, but I always wondered, why wouldn't they make an American lock? So, anyway, sorry about that, guys. For this one, they certainly have. I just wanted to show you the box, too. Nothing fancy, but you can see in the lighting, maybe not. There is a faint American flag. You can kind of see I apologize, the lighting is terrible. It's my fault. Anyway, it's the compact all-tie smooth. Oh, before I forget, let me show you the milling that they put in the pocket, or the pockets that they milled out. Look at my flashlight. 1 second. There we go. You can kind of see. So I'm not sure if they're going to go forward making them this way with the milled pockets, but it is a nice feature. It makes it a little lighter. It's still very robust. Don't get me wrong. It's not a Benchmade bug out or anything, but you notice a little difference in hand. So that was my second purchase. My third purchase, and before I show you my third purchase, let me just show you, if I haven't shown you, my favorite pen. Okay, this is the Smooth Precision Pen, or Smooth Precision Pens, Ty Scribe. Now, this model was his, I say was, past tense, because he closed the company due to health concerns, if you didn't know. His dragon scale pattern. Now, this was the Series 5, if I'm not mistaken, titanium that he used, or grade 5 rather than grade 7, or grade 3 rather than grade 5, whatever it is. And, I mean, anyway, his work is just truly impeccable. Everything about this, I'll show you the under part of the clip. You can see it says made, see the N, a little outline of Texas on the underscale. On the under part of the pocket clip. I mean, his work is just spectacular. And the fidget factor, outstanding. Now, I know he used graphite powder because he mentioned that numerous times on his Instagram. And where was I going with that? Oh, my apologies. He does not use any oil, and the graphite powder is actually a lot smoother. Now, this is titanium on titanium. Now, to show you that, to show you this, my next purchase is an Arnaud Bernard Assegai, or Assegai. I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly. And I was not aware of this, but Arnaud Bernard does not just make knives that people believe are comparable to Chris Reeve. They always call him the Chris Reeve on bearings. But this is what it came with. This little pen sleeve, which I think is really neat. You can see the leather there. AB, Arnaud Bernard, printed. I bought this pen because this pen 2002, South Africa, Arnaud Bernard knives. I was speaking to one of the brothers, Ruan. I'm pronouncing his name correctly. It's spelled R-U-A-N. Very nice man. And this pen is, I'm telling you guys, smoother than the Smooth Precision pen. The reason for that is, I'll show you in just a second. I mean, this thing is so fidgety. I like the milling on the Tie Scribe better. However, this was a close second in my opinion. And not second like it's worse. It's just my preference. I prefer the other one. But this is absolutely stellar. The pocket clip I like better on the Tie Scribe. But this is also a beautifully milled pocket clip. Very nice machining. I did ask Ruan if they were going to be making more of these in different combinations, maybe like Timascus or something, materials and patterns. He did say that they would be. Really focusing on that. This does use the, if I remember right, the Pilot G2 insert. So you can also use, the Schmidt 9000, which is my personal favorite. You can also use, I believe, the Monteverde, the Mont Blanc. Actually, that might be the slightly larger model. I know you can use the Schmidt. You can use an Oto. OHTO is a very nice insert made in Japan as well. Very, very good. But anyway, let me just show you this right here. So do you see this line? Let's see, focus. Right there, the pocket clip. Not the under part, although that is kind of neat. A little, looks like a leaf or something. I didn't really look at that up until now. This little line on the pocket clip, they've actually, I don't want to say welded it, but they machined it in such a way, that's a focus, as to have stainless steel on titanium. And the way it's machined, it is excellent, and it is very smooth, very fidgety, very similar, like I said, to the Smooth Precision pen. So that's why I bought it. And the other reason is, not only was it similar, I mean, the size is practically the same. It's like, I don't know if you can get a, that's not a great, anyway, I was trying to get maybe a close-up. Let me see if I can measure it that way. I think Smooth Precision pen is just, it's just a skosh shorter. Not by much. Anyway, the reason I purchased this is because I love the fact that the pocket clip is the mechanism. There's a lot of people that don't do that. You have Tactile Turn, you have Nottingham Tactical, you have Fellholter, and all of them have bolt action pens, but they always have the bolt on a separate side. You also have the billet spin cam pen, which I have to say I was very unimpressed with. I mean, machining on it was nice, but the mechanism, it was really heavy, not very smooth. I wasn't impressed. I wound up buying one not long ago and returned it because it didn't do anything for me at all. But anyway, there's not a lot of people who actually make the pocket clip, the mechanism. And especially this smooth, are you kidding? Guys, I gotta tell you, for $165, stellar work. Absolutely. phenomenal. And it's a lot less bulky in hand. You know, you can grip it and it doesn't bother you. There's no hot spots or anything like that. It's absolutely a wonderful pen. And I'm very glad that I purchased it for that very reason, because I would have kicked myself if I didn't. All right. Now, let me put this away and I'll get to the last item. So the last item I was waiting for in line on that Saturday, the 8th? Yes, the 8th. And I was very close to the line Saturday morning. I got there early in the morning. I was speaking to a very nice guy who was also there early in the morning as well. He was there before me because he slept overnight. But he and I both were going to the same table. And that was fine because he and I both wanted separate things. Now, I don't know about you, but generally I don't tell people where I'm going. You know, it was the second day, so it didn't really matter, of course. You know, most of the really wonderful goodies were already sold out on Friday. However, I put that back in the box. Well, anyway, I put the box there. But anyway, I will say that generally I don't tell people where I'm going. I keep that close to the vest. You never know who's going to scalp you. And in my mind, you're only there once a year. And you're looking to purchase something for yourself that is unique and different in and of itself. So I don't generally put all my cards on the table and let people know where I'm going, because you just don't know. You know, a lot of people are trustworthy, but it's always good to be cautious. So anyway, he and I both ran to this same table at the same time. And I got there like a millisecond before he did. But it didn't matter because, like I said, we both wanted different things. Now, this was Koenig Arius DLC Magna Cut Bright Washed. Polished flats. Standard carbon fiber face and DLC back with carbon fiber inlay. June 3rd, 2024. And let me tell you guys, I mean, the other guy bought the osseous pattern. That was very nice. It was all the milling out of the handle. The titanium made it very light. It had a very distinct ting sound as well when it would open and close. I rather liked it. I would have bought it based on the sound. But that wasn't my first choice. My first choice was this. And I just have to say, guys, this DLC, if you've never seen or handled a Koenig DLC, when I say I am not exaggerating, it is second to none. Nobody does a DLC the way that Koenig does. This carbon fiber inlay in the lock side of the blade, the handle, excuse me. I don't really want to get my fingerprints on it because it was a little annoying to get off. And it has a very controlled close, similar to like a Shiro, to be honest. It does drop shut, but it's a little more controlled. You can kind of see. Maybe not. It is breaking in. I haven't really used it or carried it, but I mean, everything on this is just excellent. Perfect centering. Wonderful ergonomics. I'm not sure. I've seen a couple videos as to recently why there's one or two out there who don't like the Koenig Arius, and that's fine. That's why there's many knives, many makers, different shapes and sizes and everything else. However, you can't deny the Koenigs are really spectacular, very kind people. Very fun, very genuine. They always take the time. I mean, Bill, I know him personally, and he's a wonderful guy. His mom, Heidi, his sister, Krista, his brother, John, and who I like to also call like the second face of the company is Garrett. Great guy. I mean, you couldn't ask for supporting better people. Everything's made in the U.S. Their products are outstanding. The quality of work for a high-end production company. I would consider this almost like a high-end production. Not quite custom, unless you get one of Bill's Customs, where he's making it himself, which he does make, or some of the auction pieces they have, or lottery pieces. But, oh, that's what I wanted to show you. Hold on, let me show you the blade steel. MAG, MagnaCut. So if you haven't been to their table, if you haven't supported them, I'd highly recommend it. You're going to get your best bang for your buck, and you're not going to go wrong. Products are outstanding. Highly recommended. Made in the U.S. So that's basically it, guys. Without rambling too much more, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. These have been the Blade Show purchases that I was able to pick up. I hope you get there yourself one day. It's a lot of fun. As I said earlier, highly recommended. Anyway, until next time, take care.